Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the opportunity to present our research at ICITEE this year. My name is Irma Dwi Jayanti. I am the first author, and there are two other authors in this paper. They are Mr. Paulus Insap Santosa and Mr. Bimo Sunarfri Hantono. This paper title is the User Experience Aspect Assessment Method for Digital Wallet in Indonesia, a literature review. I will start by explaining the contents of my presentation. There are 6 parts in this presentation, namely introduction, research purpose, research method, result, discussion, and conclusion. The introduction of this paper is about the impact of COVID-19 since last 2019. Almost all activities that were originally done offline have turned online and are done from home. These impacts occur in almost all countries in the world, including Indonesia. This situation also occurs in payment transaction activities have changed from physical money to virtual money using financial technology application, one of which was using a digital wallet. The contactless payment system was the main priority for consumers in making transactions. In Indonesia, many types of digital wallets operate, such as GoPay, OVO, ShopeePay, Dana, Link-Aja, etc. The majority of the fintech sector is not only from the increasing number of users, but also from maintaining user loyalty in using application, one of which is evaluating the user experience side. So, it takes a development evaluation of the UX to understand the various characteristics of product design that can evoke emotional responses from users when using a product. To carry out an evaluation, it is necessary to find out which method is suitable for use in order to get valid result. Each UX assessment method has advantages and disadvantages because the aspect being measured and the platforms used are different. Based on the background that has been described, the purpose of this study are 1. Review previous studies on the method of assessing aspects that affect the user experience of the Indonesian digital wallet mobile application. 2. Discussions that will be highlighted are aspects that affect user experience, methods of collecting and validating data, and providing input for future research. 3. This research is expected to help researchers and practitioners in related studies to do more development. To achieve the expected goals, this study has 3 steps. The research begins by determining the research question. Identify research questions that aim to control the scope of the literature review. Research question must be by the needs of the chosen topic. Research question to be discussed, namely, the first research question, what are the major aspects of the digital wallet mobile application and the UX assessment method used from 2016 to 2020? The second research question, how to collect data and validate their accuracy? The third research question, what issues have not been resolved in the UX assessment of the digital wallet mobile application? And then, the second step is to search primary studies. In this step, a manual search of literature is carried out in 3 digital libraries, namely IEEE, Science Direct, and Google Scholar. The literature search process uses keywords related to the research question, including digital wallet in Indonesia, user experience digital wallet, mobile and mobile wallet, user experience mobile wallet in Indonesia, and aspect assessment digital wallet. At this stage, found 46 papers based on keywords. The next step is to filter the results of search primary studies with inclusion and exclusion criteria. Inclusion is criteria that focus on the necessary conditions that exist so that we can select and include them in the study list, while exclusion is criteria that cause the paper to be excluded from the main study. There are 3 inclusion criteria, namely 1. The purpose of the paper assesses one aspect that influences the UX on Indonesian digital wallet. 2. Papers can answer one of the research questions either in full or in part. 3. Papers published from 2016 to 2020 and written in Indonesian or English language. While for the exclusion criteria are papers published before 2016, the full paper cannot be accessed, the author of the paper is not known, books or magazine, review or survey paper, the paper does not answer one of the research questions either in full or in part. Duplicate of another paper even though the title is different, so that the newest paper will be selected. After manual filtering, 19 papers were found based on inclusion and exclusion criteria. Most of the papers found in ICITEE, there are 13 papers, 4 papers from Google Scholar, and 2 papers from Science Direct. Papers that meet the criteria are dominated by conference paper. There are 15 papers. The method used during 2016 to 2020, there are 6 papers using technology acceptance model, 3 papers using unified theory of acceptance and use of technology, 2 papers using sentiment analysis, 5 papers using quantitative, qualitative, or hybrid, and the rest use other methods. The result of the analysis to answer the first research question, namely, the UX aspect that can be measured in Indonesian digital wallet and are efficiency, effectiveness, perspicuity, stimulation, attractiveness, dependability, novelty, helpful, easy to learn, and satisfying. The method that is widely used to assess the UX aspect is the quantitative method. In addition to measuring the UX aspect, there are also many studies that measure user acceptance. Aspects of user acceptance that are measure the factor that influence behavioral intention and continuance intention. Technology acceptance model and unified theory of acceptance and use of technology is the most widely used method to measure user acceptance. Some studies use sentiment analysis. It can be concluded that sentiment analysis can be used to determine the level of customer satisfaction. Data collection is one of the important processes before making a UX assessment because it can determine the accuracy of the UX assessment of an application. From the result of this study paper, most of the studies use quantitative data collection methods in the form of questionnaire of 14 studies. 3 studies use a combination of quantitative and qualitative method. 2 studies use data crawling technique from user reviews or comment on social media. From the paper review, the number of respondents affected the accuracy of the result of the UX assessment. So that many papers use tools to analyze and test validity and reliability of the data. Structural equation modeling partially squared is the most widely used of the papers found. Not infrequently in every research paper, researchers provide direction about the problems of UX assessment on digital wallet application that can be resolved in the future. The more problems that are resolved, new problems that have the potential to be resolved will also develop. The study encouraged further research as follows. 1. Adding more other variables to find out what factors can influence a person in using new technology, such as a cultural element, trust factor, and perceived risk or mediating factors like age, educational background, gender, and income. 2. Examine mobile wallets in Indonesia in more depth than the results are compared to previous studies, so that it can be used to determine the most suitable model for mobile wallet research in Indonesia. 3. Expand the research area not only in Indonesia, but in various countries to gain user understanding from different responses perspectives. 4. Research using sentiment analysis can also be further investigated by proposing more non-standard Indonesian words for the stemming process so that the analyzed data is more valid. It can also analyze user satisfaction sentiment from image data or modify the classification algorithm used to improve accuracy. Based on the results of the research and literature review, it can be concluded that UX significantly affect the use of Indonesian digital wallet in application. It was found that several papers researching digital wallet using quantitative, qualitative, or hybrid methods concluded several aspects that could affect the use of digital wallets, such as described in the first research question, where this aspect will affect user satisfaction when using a digital wallet. User satisfaction itself is an important aspect that affects user acceptance, which in turn will affect behavioral intention and continuance intention. Following the expectation of the results of this study, it is hoped that will be useful for practitioners and researchers of digital wallets. In addition, it was found the difference in research model, the amount of data and data source can affect the result of the study. Most of the studies review used a large amount of data from respondents whose backgrounds had been limited. The availability of large data already exists but has not been used optimally for UX development, such as review data on Twitter, Instagram, Google Play Store, Apple App Store, etc. This study found several studies that use sentiment analysis, but the result studies are only used to determine which level of service affects user satisfaction on Indonesian digital wallet. It is possible to continue research by integrating the result of sentiment analysis with a UX analysis model and then use it to recommend the design of improvement and development of digital wallet application. As mentioned earlier, this paper specifically conducts a literature review on the assessment of UX aspect in Indonesian digital wallet application. In this literature study was found 19 papers with various assessment models and aspects of UX were studied. It can be concluded from the research review in which the user experience and user acceptance aspect can significantly influence the use of digital wallets. The UX aspect that can be measured from efficiency, effectiveness, perspicuity, stimulation, attractiveness, dependability, novelty, helpful, easy to learn, and satisfying. The aspect of user acceptance can be measured from behavioral intention and continuance intention. Technology acceptance model is perhaps the most developed model for analyzing aspects of user acceptance that can affect user experience on digital wallet mobile application. The most widely used data collection methods are survey, questionnaires, and interviews, which are then validated with tools that suit your needs. A sentiment analysis has also been developed to analyze user satisfaction and intention to use the Indonesian digital wallet. In this study, we only review Indonesian digital wallets in general. For future research, we suggest two research directions, namely more specific or broader areas. Reviewing more specific is like finding the factor of using digital wallets by comparing the most used and less desirable digital wallets. Reviewing a wider area, such as comparing digital wallets in several countries to find the influence of cultural aspect on digital wallet usage intentions. Okay, this is my presentation. Thank you for having me here, And thank you for your attention. Nice to meet you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.